did it, everybody. We hit another 1,000 subscriber special. This time we've reached 11,000 subscribers. To celebrate this milestone, we're going to be heading into a brand new scenario, which is, what if Goku trained Oob early? Now to me, Oob is seriously the most underused character in the entire franchise. He shows up for like 2 seconds at the end of Z, doesn't do anything in GT except really fuse with Majin Buu, and even then he doesn't do anything. And in Super, he barely appears near the end of Moro, where he just gives out his godly energy and helps in his defeat. That's still not enough for the reincarnation of Majin Buu for me. He deserves more love, and I'm going to try to actually give him justice and things to do. Now, when and how would Goku train Oob exactly? Well, it depends on Oob's age. Battle of Gods takes place 4 years after Buu, meaning Oob would be around 4 years old. Now, this isn't exactly the ideal age to train somebody, but remember, Gohan was around 5 years old when he first started training, so why would Oob be a drastically different case? I think after the fight with Beerus, Goku would still want to do all he can to get stronger. And what better way to get stronger than to fight the reincarnation of Buu? Of course, Goku doesn't quite know about Oob right away, as he knows that King Yama reincarnated him, but he doesn't know where he is, or how old he actually is either. He would go to ask Dende for any news, and of course Dende would be able to see Oob, and tells Goku that he really is the reincarnation of Buu. Dende also says that Goku should train him when he's older, but Goku doesn't want to wait for much longer, as this kid's going to have huge potential, and what better way to start than as early as possible? Goku goes down to Earth and meets with Oob, wanting to see what this little kid can do. Now he doesn't just immediately begin to beat the crap out of this little kid, but he wants to get to know his life, and see what Oob does for a living. Since Oob is still a little kid, he isn't freaked out by seeing Goku, and just lets him wander around with him for the day. Goku gets to see Oob's struggles in getting food and water for his family, and how this little kid is the strongest in this small village. Being able to defeat these savage animals that are around to protect his home, Goku is actually feeling pretty nostalgic, as Oob going around with this kid life reminds Goku of his own life in Mount Paozu. He has a deep connection with this kid, and he is very strong, he just doesn't realize it. Goku obviously isn't going to kidnap Oob from his family, as that would kind of be a dick move, but he goes over to Oob's house a lot and begins training with him, hoping to see how strong he can become. Oob shows off great strength and spars with a base Goku when Goku decides to get a little serious, and he is able to really deal some damage here on Goku. This makes Goku more and more excited on what this kid can become. The first thing Goku tries to do is teach Oob how to fly, and the kid learns how to do it in no time. He learned even faster than Goten did. Oob is seriously a fighting prodigy, and him training with Goku really makes him a lot less timid than he is at the end of Z, at a much faster pace. He becomes a lot more powerful in his strength, and while he can't really use any of Buu's magic, he's able to get up to Kid Buu's power much faster. Not exactly on his level quite yet, as he is around 5 years old right now, but he is reaching it at an exponential pace. After many months of training together, Oob is able to get on par with Super Saiyan 2 Goku. He isn't quite reaching Super Saiyan 3 level yet, but he is quickly catching up, since Goku is surprisingly an excellent teacher, as we could see in GT. Now, Goku training Oob also distracts him from focusing in on what Vegeta is up to, meaning Vegeta gets to train the Whis all by himself. Since Goku is so focused in on training Oob, you'd think Goku would find out about what Vegeta is doing eventually, but he couldn't find it after many months in canon, and since he is very preoccupied with training Oob, I don't see him finding out where Vegeta went. This isn't a huge loss for Goku though, as he is still training with a super powerful kid every day. Goku training Oob of course doesn't mean he's going to get as powerful as he did with Whis, as obviously, but he is still getting stronger, as Oob is getting stronger as well. Once Oob gets done with all the basics, and with Goku making him stronger, Oob's parents allow Goku to really take Oob off to train if he wants to, which is when they go off into the Hyperbolic time chamber, and try to get him used to that. Oob wouldn't spend a whole year in the chamber, as Goku doesn't want to be tortured in that room for that long if he doesn't need to. But this gravity and rough conditions of the room really increase Oob's endurance to gravity, which will make him much lighter on his feet. Once Oob has really perfected his strength and technique ability, Goku senses that Oob has more power hiding in him than he originally thought. He has some strange ki readings that aren't regular ki, but it seems to be godly ki? He is tangled with somebody with God Ki, and is used to Super Saiyan God form himself, so he knows exactly what this Ki is. He isn't the best teacher in having Oob draw his power out, as he doesn't know much about God Ki itself, but he has some for some reason. Maybe Buu had some form of godly power he didn't know about? Nah, that's impossible. He may have gotten a small fragment of it since he's trained with him? Goku really has no idea, and he just keeps training with Oob as normal. Eventually we are brought to the events of Resurrection F, where Frieza wants to get his revenge on Goku. Goku is of course on Earth this time, and is able to easily see Frieza when he shows up. The Z-Fighters of course go to face off against Frieza, and Goku brings Oob along, since this could be his first real fight. He can easily deal against the fodder soldiers, but he's not enough to fight Frieza by himself. Goku becomes a Super Saiyan 3, and begins to fight out with Final Form Frieza, with the two being pretty evenly matched with Goku as a Super Saiyan 3. Oob does his best to fight off the Frieza soldiers, as he has a lot of help from the other fighters, and begins to work well with them. He gets along a lot with Krillin and Roshi, as the two are impressed to see what Goku's first real student can do in a fight. Especially Roshi, as he wants to see if Oob has gotten better teaching than Goku did when he was younger. Oob is actually one of the strongest there, and the fodder soldiers are really nothing to him. And he is very impressed with himself for actually getting into a real fight and not just instantly losing. Goku taught him well. Speaking of Goku, he's doing very well against Frieza as a Super Saiyan 3. And even though he's weaker than his canon counterpart now, he can still face off with his version of Frieza. Unfortunately though, it all goes downhill once Frieza's had enough, and transforms into Golden Frieza. Golden Frieza is only using this form right now to mock Goku, and Goku is completely knocked around, not being able to match up to Frieza anymore in the slightest. Goku tries his hardest of course, but Super Saiyan 3 doesn't seem to be doing any damage at all. Luckily, even though he hasn't trained much with it, he's able to regain access to Super Saiyan God, which at least gives him somewhat of a fighting chance. And again, I mean somewhat, as he still isn't able to defeat Frieza the way he is now, but he can at least hold him off well enough. Golden Frieza is having the time of his life right now, as even though Goku's hair changed again, he still isn't powerful enough to defeat the Almighty Emperor. Oob is very worried for his master, as he isn't looking good at all in this fight, and he wants to go and help him. Gohan holds him back though, saying that even if he tries, he's not going to be of any help at all, and is just going to get himself killed. They need his help with these soldiers more, and they have to trust in Goku that he'll be able to stop Frieza. After a very long fight though, Goku reverts back to his base form, unable to defeat Frieza. He curses himself for being so weak and stares in horror as a death beam is shot directly at his face. In a flash, the death beam is knocked away towards the mountains. Goku smiles as Vegeta lands in front of Frieza, seemingly stronger than ever. Bulma is able to contact Whis sooner, so the God of Destruction, the Angel, and Vegeta made their way to the battlefield just in time. Vegeta is enthusiastic that he finally gets to have his revenge on Frieza, and he transforms himself into a Super Saiyan God. Why only Super Saiyan God? Well, without Goku around up on Beerus's planet, he wasn't able to get as powerful as in canon. And while he wasn't able to get Blue by himself, he still can't access God. Vegeta has really perfected the usage of his godly ki, and can use it so much better than Goku can. Vegeta rushes Frieza, and since Frieza hasn't trained too much in his power, and since he wore himself out with fighting a Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan God Goku, he isn't powerful enough to even defeat a God Vegeta. The beatdown of Frieza plays out pretty much exactly like in canon, except this time Vegeta is able to get the kill on Frieza. The Emperor was much more tired than in canon, as Vegeta was able to knock Frieza out of his golden form and then proceeded to beat him around some more. Vegeta isn't exactly merciful either, especially to the guy who destroyed his entire race and enslaved him for decades. Vegeta launches a Big Bang attack right at Frieza point blank, which wipes him right off the face of the earth. Once Frieza is defeated, Vegeta goes up to Goku and helps him up, laughing that he finally was able to surpass Goku by training with gods. Well, he's been busy training with toddlers. Goku says that's super awesome for Vegeta, but he's not going to cheat his way to power anymore with the godly techniques. Sure, Vegeta is way stronger than him now with his god form, much more powerful, but he himself hasn't gotten weaker. In fact, he bets if he trains with Oob some more, he'll be able to catch up to Vegeta in no time flat. Vegeta accepts his challenge and is very excited to see how much Goku will improve with just a human, while he's training with the gods themselves. Goku is up for the challenge though, and once the cleanup happens of the Frieza soldiers, Goku asks Oob if he would like to go into the time chamber with him now, to really turn themselves up and see what they could do for a full year. During this time, he really wants to see if Oob can access the magic of Kid Buu as well, and in the rough conditions of the gravity chamber, maybe Oob will be forced to unleash his power easier than he would on the outside. Plus, all of his power begins with a rage boost, so if Goku can get Oob angry enough, hey, maybe magic can be a factor for these matches. Oob is totally alright with training more in the time chamber with Goku. A full year of it will really give him time to hone in his abilities as a warrior, and protect his village far easier from any threats. Goku and Oob go up to the lookout and begin their training in the time chamber. Now, what exactly is Oob going to really learn in this time period? I'm going to be leaving that up to you guys. There are quite a few paths Oob could go down. One is him continuing to harness the magic of Buu, such as the candy beam and telepathy and all that. The other is his own strength that he can keep building to really reach/exceed Kid Buu's level. And the last path is Goku teaching him how to draw out his godly abilities. Goku doesn't know much about this godly strength, but he knows how to draw out power greatly, and if Oob is able to draw the strength out, maybe another godly strength will draw out in Goku as well. That's all up to you guys though. So, in this year, what do you think Oob will really focus on? Strength, magic, or godly potential? Make sure you leave what you think in the comment section down below. Before I log off, I just want to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons who have been supporting me on this channel. We have Dreadpool, Mr. Darkness, Zero Finessin, John Lister, Jared, Robert Gregory, and Andy. Thank you all so much, as supporting me at Patreon really helps me keep this channel going. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video, and for helping me hit 11,000 subscribers. You all are fantastic. Anyways, until we meet again, you guys, see you later!